They trail by 6 as we start the second half here in game 4. Longley on the drive. Can't make it 8. Mullin has it.
Now let's see if that ankle tightened up on Reggie Miller. Normally when you go and rest at halftime, that ankle swells up. Let's see what type of mobility he has.
Smits, jumper over Longley, no. Rebound Rodman.
Bulls thinking defense here, starting Rodman.
Who picks up his 10th rebound to start the half. Pippen to the hoop. Knocked away by Smits.
So you watch Reggie in transition here. He's slowly limping, trying to get back. It's tough for him to push and get off that ankle. And he's guarding Michael Jordan right now, and Jordan will look to test him quickly.
Longley, catch and shoot.
That's a well-executed play. Rick Smits had to give help on the screen by Michael. Longley read it, just faded right back to the corner.
Mullin for 3. Way off. Rodman deals the outlet to Pippen. Michael is open. Good start to the third quarter for Chicago.
Bird's going to need a 20-second timeout. The Bulls are coming out. They've got their defensive team on the floor. Hit 2 quick jump shots. Push this lead back up to 10, and Larry Bird doesn't like it. Let's take a look now at Luke Longley here. We want to watch him, and we're going to see right here. And as Michael comes off this screen, watch what Luke Longley does. Watch Rick Smits. He's going to have to think about Michael Jordan. He turns his head. Longley works right against his vision with the open jump shot. And in Michael Jordan, the last time down again, Reggie Miller having a very difficult time getting down the floor. They're cross-matched. Mark Jackson does not get there soon enough. Michael continues his hot shooting. The Bulls up by 10.
Jackson around Pippen. He often took it right at Scottie in game 3. Smits has position.
Longley gets wrong that time. He went on the baseline side. The pass was right to the middle, which led Smits right to the dunk.
Reggie on Michael. Jumper over him. Rodman with a great tip.
It's a great tip because Dennis Rodman boxed Dale Davis in. He boxed him underneath the basket. So when the ball came off, he had enough space to tip him.
And Pippen is hit with the block. That's 3 on Scottie.
What I see on this play is an animated Dennis Rodman. The Rodman that we know with energy, playing a little bit on that edge. But he goes right to the front of the rim on the miss and just out-muscles the Indiana Pacer front line. And going back down the floor, you see that high step, and he's feeling good.
Mullin. Michael takes him on a switch and fouls him.
That's Michael's 3rd.
So even though it's his 3rd foul, I don't think you can run the risk of taking the ball out of Rick Smits' hands because he's shooting it so well right now.
They've got Harper now on Miller. Jackson into the lane. Dale Davis brings the Pacers back to within 8.
The Pacers got to get some defensive stops, though. Right now, the Bulls are in that good offensive rhythm. Remember, they shot 59% in the first half, and they have not missed a beat here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Chicago has made the decision that they're going to outscore Indiana, and Indiana has to match them with scoring opportunities.
On the Bulls' turnover, the Pacers bring it back, trailing by 8. Smits draws a double team. Jackson penetrates, kicks it back out to Rick for the baseline J.
See, Bob, what you're getting there is Mark Jackson is throwing the ball in the post. Pippen is helping on the kick out. As Scottie's going to him, he's driving the ball to the basket and getting some dribble penetration.
Longley misses with the left hand, and Mullin has board position on Rodman. Jackson pushes it back the other way. Inside, Davis is all alone. 6-0 run. And Mullin bumps Jordan to pick up the foul.
Rick Smits really working hard in the post. You see Pippen going back. As he attacks, Mark Jackson penetrates. Look, Smits slides out to the open area where Mark Jackson can find him. Those are the little medium-range jump shots that Rick Smits has lived off this season.
Smits has 14 on 6 of 8. The foul on Mullin was his third. Michael through everybody, but can't finish it. Mullin kicks it out to Jackson. Looking for Smits. He looks for the hoop, but it's short. Harper had trouble with the dribble. Got it back. And it's Chicago by 6. Miller on the run. Misses off the glass. Jackson has it. Mullin alone for 3. A wide open look. Can't ask for more than that if you're Chris Mullin. Harper. And Smits fouled him. Look at Rodman with a smile on his face, trying to provoke something out of Smits.
Well, he knows Smits right now has it going offensively, and one of Rodman's traits is to try to knock you out of the game mentally, try to ruin your concentration. It's important for Smits to keep his concentration. You see he gives the hard foul, which is Indiana's philosophy. No free layups. You're not going to get anything. Harper takes it. Rodman comes over, and right now he's trying to say, hey, let me knock you out of your game a little bit. Let me see if I can get inside your head, make you concentrate about Dennis Rodman, and forget that you have to go down and score baskets.
Harper cans the first.
So the pace of this game is frenetic, and Larry Bird is going to take a timeout. I still think Indiana must continue to run like this. If they have any hopes, I think, of winning this game, they have got to wear the Bulls down.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
Harper puts the Bulls up by 8.
See, I think Larry Bird's going to have to make a decision here to bring Jalen Rose in this game. Chris Mullin is struggling. He's only 1 of 7, although he has 7 rebounds. But I think they need the ball handling and scoring of Jalen Rose.
Jackson coming off several screens into the lane. Can't hit it. But Smits can.
His best game of the series by far. More aggressive, more demanding of the ball.
16 points. Jackson battling with Harper. Longley and Smits go to the floor. And it's Indiana ball. Jackson and Harper, one-time teammates with the Clippers, really going at one another.
That was a good defensive tap by Jackson. Anytime Jackson can get his body on you and get his hands inside you, he's very strong. And he was able to tie up Ron Harper and tap it on the backside.
Miller. Got it. A 2-point bucket just inside the line. Chicago by 4.
That was such a difficult shot. Ron Harper with a hand in the face. Reggie Miller still buried it.
See, again, that shot was on the fade. You got to get up on Miller and make him run.
Michael slings it out to Harper, who traveled.
Now you watch Miller coming down, and he's limping. He's going to get set, but he can't curl, so you want to get up on him. Harper doesn't make him curl. He fades to the corner and knocks down the J.
Reggie for 3. Just short. Pippen has it. 3-on-2 if they push it. Scottie to... Boy, there's a swing. A 3-pointer that could have cut it to 1. Instead, it ignites a break. and they're down 6. Mullin through a crowd. Gotta shoot it quickly. 24-second violation.
Against the Chicago Bulls, you cannot hold the ball. Chris Mullin is holding the basketball and trying to get his own shot. He's 1 for 9 now. And again, Jalen Rose only played 7 minutes in the first half. He was only 1 for 2. So they're getting no production from their 3 spot at all today after a huge game from Jalen Rose. We gave him 15 in game 3 and in the victory.
Michael. Fade away on Miller. Out of bounds in front of the Pacer bench and touched last by the Bulls. Pippen is pointing at Mullin, but the officials didn't see it that way.
Now you watch Reggie Miller guarding Jordan in the post. He's trying to keep his hands in Jordan's shot pocket. He won't let him bring the ball down to get to his pocket to bring that shot up because he knows he can't move his feet.
Pippen steps in front and picks it off. Jackson is back, but it's a 2-on-1 with Michael. Look out! And Jackson fouls him.
Now both Jordan and Jackson knew what was coming on that play. That's why neither one of them responded. Jordan knows that every time that he goes to the basket on a fast break situation like this, they're going to take the hard foul. He accepts the challenge, walks back to the line.
And again, Isaiah, the one thing you don't want to do is let Michael Jordan get one of those monster dunks of his, because those are the great quieters of the crowd, especially on the road. So you take the foul and you make him make 2 free throws. This is his first 2 free throw attempts of the game.
For the 10-time scoring champ and 5-time MVP. NBC's must-see Thursday is great this week, beginning with Friends, followed by Just Shoot Me, Seinfeld, Veronica's Closet, and ER. That is must-see TV Thursday on NBC.
Remember now, game 3, Bulls up 8 with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Phil Jackson rested Michael Jordan. The Pacers tied the game. I don't think you'll see that today.
A whistle away from the ball.
See, Reggie Miller came down 2 plays ago, and he told Hugh Evans, watch Harper holding me, watch him holding me. Ronnie Nunn picks it up on this side. Harper's grabbing. The officials are communicating with each other, and they got the call.
It's on Harper. It's his first. Remember late in game 3 when Harper fouled Miller hard and almost sent him sailing into the Indiana bench, and several Pacers stood up. Antonio Davis actually said to Harper, you cross this line and your butt, or words to that effect, is mine.
and speaking of Antonio Davis, he and Jalen Rose had huge games in game 3, and neither one of them have played that much today.
Dale Davis spinning, and spinning too much, shuffling the feet and traveling. Ahmad Rashad tells us that Reggie Miller turned to one of the officials after they nailed Harper with a foul and actually said, thank you. Might be some sarcasm involved. Thank you for finally spotting one, in Reggie's view. Michael takes him into the lane and hits it.
You got to go double team him. You can't let Reggie Miller stay down there alone.
It's a 10-point game again. Mullin is open and shoots it long. Terrible shooting day for Chris Mullin, but not for Rick Smits, who's been hot all afternoon.
And he's the one that's kept him in this game in the third quarter, down 8 with 3 minutes to go.
18 now for Smits. Pippen from Rodman. Here's Longley. And again, it's Chicago by 10. Smits. And Longley fouled him.
That was a great adjustment by Rick Smits. He moved Longley up, then came around him, and Longley got the foul. Now you look at the last 2 baskets by Chicago, Jordan using his strength backing Reggie Miller down. Reggie can't fight him off, doesn't have the leverage because of the ankle. Now you watch Longley, who likes to come left, drives left on Rick Smits, takes the long step around Jackson and hooks it right in the hole. And you're watching the NBA on NBC.
It's a 9-point lead right now as Smits is shooting his second free throw to try to make it 8. Realizing they've worked so hard to get this lead, he does not want to let them close quickly to finish this third quarter.
Michael has it with Jalen Rose on him. Scott Burrell, Michael, 5 on the 24. Rose all over him. Kukoč has it go through his hands. They won't beat the shot clock. Pippen on Jackson. Mark goes by him. Dishes out to Rose.
Now you got Kukoč guarding Smits in the low post. Kukoč will try to use his foot speed to front him. Let's see what Smits does.
4 seconds to shoot. Jackson will. Misses it long. It didn't hit the rim. Kukoč has it. Kukoč with the jumper from the foul line. Plus the foul.
You know what this also does is this makes either Rick Smits guard Dennis Rodman or Toni Kukoč. If he's going to guard Kukoč, Kukoč out on the perimeter will do this all day. You saw Antonio Davis tried to help him out, but it was too late. So this small lineup, if Kukoč can front the post and take the ball out of Smits' hands, will be very effective.
See, in fronting the post with Kukoč, Smits has to get in deeper, Doug. So when Kukoč does front him, he'll be closer to the rim for the lob.
Jackson looking for help. The foul on Antonio Davis a moment ago was his first. Jackson gets it back from Smits and lays it in. Michael out to Burrell, and now Kukoč. Michael again. Number 23 has 23.
See, that's not fair. He drove baseline, pulled 4 guys to him, hung in the air till he found an open guy, then tracked the ball down and got it back and made the shot.
And underneath, under all of that, Rodman got hit in the head by an Antonio Davis elbow.
Smits poked away by Kukoč, and Toni fouled him.
Isaiah, now watch Michael Jordan here. He's going to get hemmed in on the baseline. Look how many Pacers are down there with him. 5 guys in the paint. And he says, give me the ball back. And he turns and hits the jump shot. See, what's happened is through his career, he's seen so many double and triple teams. He realizes when he gives the ball up, don't take himself out of the play. Seek the ball back.
See, Kukoč is using his foot speed, and what Smits has to do when he gets it underneath, he's got to be patient and hold it. He can't go right away, and he's got to let Kukoč settle down. Be a little bit more patient in the post like Michael Jordan is or Karl Malone. Whenever you have a smaller guy guarding you, take your time down there.
Smits has 21. The Bulls led by 6 at the half. They're up by 9 now as the third quarter winds down. Jalen Rose fouled Michael Jordan. That's 1 on Rose, but will send Michael to the line as the Pacers are in the penalty. Tonight on Dateline, a decorated Air Force officer had a love affair that sent her career into a tailspin. Is she the victim of a double standard? That's tonight on Dateline. I honestly do not know the answer, but I'm sure that Stone Phillips and Jane Pauley do. A 10-point Chicago lead. Smits, the hook. Boy, he's having a good game. .23 for Rick Smits.
This is a big possession right here. If Michael can hit this shot, it'll put him up 10. If the Pacers can hold, it will give them a nice little lift to start the fourth period.
Michael fires. In and out. And there's the horn. Well, the Bulls led by 6 at the half. They lead by 8 now, but it would have been a whole lot worse for Indiana without Rick Smits. 13 of his 23 points came in the third quarter.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Rick Smits having an excellent ball game for the Indiana Pacers. You see he's 9 of 14 with 23 points and doing it a lot of different ways. The step out in the open jump shot. The follow-up on the offensive backboard. The little jump shot from about 17 feet, and then the slip of the screen and the jump hook over Scottie Pippen. Now this is excellent, what Rick Smits has been able to do. But Jalen Rose and Chris Mullin are combined 2 for 12 today. Travis Best in the ball game for Mark Jackson. Let's see if he can provide some speed and quickness for a big fourth quarter finish.
As the fourth quarter begins, Jordan is on the bench for Chicago and Smits on the bench for the Pacers. Antonio Davis with the left hand. And Steve Kerr has returned despite the tender thigh.
See, I like when Indiana has Davis in the game because he brings them the energy and the emotion.
Kukoč to Rodman, who slings it out to Pippen, and now Kerr for 3. Got it.
Now that's a pro. Sits there the whole game with a bruised hip, steps right back on the floor, and drills a 3. That's a pro.
What that also does is buy another minute's rest for Michael Jordan.
Since they're in front by 9. Jalen Rose answers with a 3 of his own.
See, these are the 2 players who were big for you the other night. Davis and Rose. Let's see if they can step up and be big for them again this afternoon.
Burrell. Rebound Rose. And there's a whistle from Bill Oakes, a Chicago foul.
See, on that last play, let's watch the ball movement of the Chicago Bulls. The penetration, the kick, the movement around the horn, right in his spot, bam, wide open 3. Now you come back with the Pacers, again, ball movement, fake, Jalen Rose takes his time, lines it up, and drills a 3.
Back live, the foul on Kukoč was his 3rd.
See, Mullin is back in the game for Reggie Miller because Reggie's having a hard time.
Jalen Rose is not having a hard time. He hits his 2nd straight 3.
Bob, you see what's happening right now is Jalen Rose and Antonio Davis is stepping up. Jalen Rose knocked Toni Kukoč down, then drove the lane. That's applying the toughness right now for the Pacers.
Kukoč is all alone, though, and that quiets the crowd just a bit.
Championship experience. You keep your poise. The emotional surge on Jalen Rose's shooting. Kukoč and Kerr have both answered.
4 3-pointers in the last minute or so. Mullin inside of Burrell. No basket. He hit him before the shot. It's Chicago by 6.
The Pacer bench has been so vital to their success all season long. The emotional toughness of Antonio Davis in the post against Dennis Rodman, and Jalen Rose with back-to-back big threes to give his team some energy and some life. And they're going to need the bench to finish this game out strong with Reggie Miller not being 100%. You see what their bench has done at home. They've shot 47% at home and on the road 39%. And that's what you normally see. Your starters play much better on the road and your bench plays much better at home. Today you see what they've done. +8.
Let's play on Scott Burrell is first.
You know, Doug, Rick Smits playing as well as he's playing. I know Larry Bird doesn't like to play the three big guys together, but I think he should try to play Rick Smits because Mullin is struggling and play Davis, McKee, and Smits together.
Foul before the shot, and it's Burrell again. His second.
The one thing I like about this lineup, you've got Best, who's a ball handler with quickness. You've got Jalen Rose, who can handle, Mullin, who can shoot, McKee, who can handle the ball, and Davis's toughness. So you have a very mobile team. I think he needs defense and mobility out on the floor right now, and the other's got to pick up the scoring.
Rose working on Burrell. Kukoč coming over. A nearly impossible shot won't fall. Here is Michael back in the game. And an immediate whistle at the other end. Michael got a pretty good rest out of this.
Well, he got 2.5 minutes, and they only lost 2 points because Kerr and Kukoč both hit big three-point shots.
Jalen Rose and Scott Burrell are having a little battle of their own.
But Jalen Rose will compete. That's why I love him as a basketball player. You see him defending Jordan. He's not backing away. He respects him, but he's going to compete against him. You're not going to get anything free on Jalen Rose.
Michael Jordan hit with the offensive foul. That's his 4th.
So you look at Jalen Rose, and he's not backing down. He's not conceding from Jordan. You watch him guarding him. He's going to take the shot. You know, out of the Fab Five at Michigan, you talk about Juwan Howard and Chris Webber, but this guy has a chance to be the true star.
McKee won't fall. Burrell has it.
Got to go strong and finish that shot. No flippers now. Either get to the line or finish.
Kerr from Michael. Into the lane he goes. Hold on. He was fouled as he made his move. Now that's 4 on Mullin.
I think the question is, have we seen the last of Reggie Miller today? Because Isaiah, well, here he comes off the bench right now, because I was getting ready to say, the longer he sits there, the tougher it's going to be for him to get warmed up again with that ankle.
Yeah, at the half, we talked about it and we said, let's watch and see if that ankle gets tight. Now, when you have an ankle injury like that, you have to keep pushing and you have to keep running because your foot acts as a pump and it pumps the blood up out of your foot and it lessens the swelling.
Michael, fade away. Got it. Just a blink of the eye between the time he caught it, made the move, and released it.
His ability to fade back and create distance. His shot is almost impossible to block unless you come from behind.
Pacers trail by 8. Davis spins on Rodman. Out of bounds to the Pacers, no foul.
See, they have no post play right now, Doug. Although Antonio Davis is good in the post, he's being guarded by Dennis Rodman. You can't go to McKee on Kukoč because the size is the same. So you're missing Rick Smits inside to give you that strength, and he's playing really well right now. And when you look at Chicago out there, they have no big people.
I think what would happen is if he would come back in with Rick Smits, I think you would Phil Jackson immediately counter with Luke Longley.
Well, let's see if he does, because here comes Smits.
No luck on the shot for Indiana. Pippen just back in. Knocked away from Michael by Best. And into the hands of Rose. Travis Best is open, but misses the 3. And Rodman is there to one-hand the rebound. 14 rebounds for Dennis. Michael. There was contact, and Rose raises his hand. 3 on Jalen. Chicago by 8. Just under 7 minutes left.
Now you see Michael Jordan has 26 points, got off to a slow shooting start, but the battle that he and Jalen Rose is going through right now, you see Jordan backing him down. Jalen is not going to concede. He's a tough competitor. Jordan shoots him with an elbow. Jalen says, okay, next time you try to go around me, there's one for you. Now here's the elbow again from Michael, and the retaliation will come from Rose. As he goes up, he shoots him with one real quick. Jalen shoots him with one back. That's basketball. That's two tough competitors. I think Michael Jordan right now respects Jalen Rose.
You saw Michael with the 4 fouls. The last time Michael Jordan fouled out of a game was November of 1991 against the Supersonics. And there it is. Folks in the truck all over it.
A little miscommunication that time between Michael Jordan and Luke Longley. Luke stepped up to set a screen, and Michael tried to pass him the ball at the pinch post. Michael said, my fault, Luke.
Now, I think this is a good matchup for the Pacers because Rick Smits comes back on the floor, who's a better offensive player, playing against Longley.
And they immediately go to him, the basket, +1.
You got to keep him on the floor because what it does, Doug, as you said, Phil Jackson now will come back with Luke Longley, which takes Toni Kukoč off the floor, who's a better offensive player, and you need to score right now. You see Smits backs him down and uses his size to go over him with the J.
Meanwhile, 5 on Longley.
This is the most patience, I think, that I've seen with Rick Smits in this series so far. Anytime he's seen the double team, he's given the ball up. He's starting to punish that double team now. He's big enough to take that ball through people.
You remember in the New York series, we talked about this earlier in the game, how he started slow against Patrick Ewing and the Knicks, was 3 for 19, and then he settled into the series.
They're back within 5. McKee on Jordan. Jumper over it. Spins out. Reggie Miller has it. Pacers looking to make a move. Best pulls up and hits. Chicago by 2. No! Chased down by Harper.
The mismatch, Pippen on Best, they spot it, and he scores over the top of him. You could see it all the way. Michael saw Scottie, said, get in the post, and he got him the basketball off a second shot opportunity that Ron Harper ran down the miss.
Best around a Davis screen. Kicks it to McKee, and now Smits. He feels it, but not this time. Not many guys 7'4" have a touch so soft and confidence in a jumper from that kind of range.
Bob, I think what would be important to watch right here to see if in these last 5 minutes can Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan sustain their energy. Because they played a lot of minutes. You see that turnover right there may be a sign of fatigue.
Jordan lost it. There was a little bit of contact. The officials let it go. That's Michael Jordan's 6th turnover today. And a foul off the ball, and if it's on Longley, he's finished.
And Phil Jackson is screaming at Luke Longley, and he said, Luke, how could you do that? How could you be so dumb? How could you get baited into that? Now you watch this. He's battling Smits. He's battling Smits. He's so conscious of Reggie Miller. He gives him a shove. Running on there. Back official catches it. And Phil Jackson responds and said, Luke, what are you thinking about?
Nothing to say to Longley now, but good day, mate.
Well, now Phil Jackson's got to make a decision. If I come back in with Kukoč, I've got a smaller, more offensive-minded team. Bill Winnington has struggled trying to play him. So who is Phil Jackson going to go to? I think you might see Dennis Rodman on him now down the stretch of this game in the last 4:45 as Kukoč comes back into the game.
Then what we'll see is a replay of Game 3 where Antonio Davis totally dominated Toni Kukoč inside. And it'll be interesting to see if Travis Best can read the mismatches. Does he decide to exploit Smits or Davis?
That was the 15th foul, so the Pacers are shooting. The Pacers have only committed 3. Remember how critical fouls were. The Bulls missed 4 of 8 free throws in that furious finish the other day.
After Miller's free throws, it's again a 2-point game. Jordan through a crowd. It's short, but Rodman, he can't hit it. Here come the Pacers, and here comes the crowd. A basket here could tie it. A 3 could give them the lead.
Now they have Kukoč guarding Smits.
McKee for the lead. Indiana by 1. Pippen, there's a whistle. No one could hear it. The crowd is so loud.
Phil Jackson wanted a timeout. Scottie took the ball down the floor and didn't see it and used some clock, so they only have 15 seconds as they come out of this timeout.
Indiana's on an 11-2 run. There's the last piece of it. McKee's 3, which gives them the lead. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
Keep your eye on Derrick McKee right here. Watch the blow that he's going to take to his head from his teammate. He rolls over. This is right before he comes down and hits a three-point shot. Where am I? Then he almost gets run over by a pack of Bulls. He comes to the other end. And he said, you know what, I can still make the open shot, though, and he buries the 3 to give the Pacers the 1-point lead.
Indiana has hit 9 of 16 three-point attempts in this game. They once trailed by 12. They lead now by 1. Jordan.
McKee wants to make him make jump shots. Keep him in front of him. Don't let him get to the rim.
He doesn't make that jump shot. Rebound, Antonio Davis.
Keep the pace of the game up. This is how you're going to win the game if you're Indiana. Keep the pressure on them.
Five on the shot clock. McKee, no look pass to Davis, who's fouled by Rodman.
Reggie Miller was begging for that basketball. He came up on the screen on the weak side, wide open, but Travis Best was looking the other way. You watch him come around here on the curl, and he's clapping. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Get it right here. Oh.
See, now, one of the things that's happened now with Indiana, they've put about 4 or 5 different players, as we see Davis missed a free throw. Bob, they've guarded Michael Jordan with Mullin, they've guarded him with Miller, they've guarded him with Rose, and now they've guarded him with McKee. They're trying to keep a fresh body on him. Derrick McKee at 6'10" will force Michael Jordan out on the perimeter to try to make him make jump shots.
Antonio Davis comes up empty. The foul a moment ago on Rodman was only his second.
That's the same guy that made the 2 crucial free throws at Game 3.
Scottie Pippen just
Jordan. Hold on, a foul.
Pippen just gave Reggie Miller an elbow right to the head. He was trying to post him up. Miller stuck his head in there, and Scottie Pippen shot him right with the elbow on top of it. You watch Pippen posting up here, and Miller will stick his head in, bam. Oh, my. As he rubs it.
on McKee, his second. The Pacers are one foul away from being in the penalty. The Bulls are already there with 3:01 on the clock.
Now Steve Kerr being back in the game.
Pippen to Kukoč. Toni Kukoč has been huge at various times in this game.
See, they have their best offensive scorers in the game in Kukoč, Pippen, Jordan, and Kerr, because Chicago understands right now that they got to keep scoring.
Now they've come back with Steve Kerr to play best. He hurt them with screen roll and penetration in Game 3. They've got Harper out of the game because Kerr's a better shooter.
I think you got to put it right back in Smits' hands against Kukoč.
Best had a different idea.
That's that screen roll play that hurt them that we showed at the top of the game in our Showtime feature. Kerr just does not have the quickness, but they need his shooting.
The 10th Indiana three-pointer of Game 4. They lead it by 2. Pippen has it poked away. Out of bounds 2. Indiana.
Bob, one of the things here, Reggie Miller is one of the best in the league. If he catches the ball off the screen and he knows you're in the penalty, he will throw his body in you. Let's see if he tries to do that to Michael Jordan.
Again, they're going with Best down the stretch, as they did in Game 3 instead of Mark Jackson. It's Smits on the run. It spins out. Rebound Rodman. 16th board of the game for Dennis Rodman. Jordan thought about a 3, gives it up to Kerr. Michael for Kukoč. It's Chicago in front again.
Tony Davis twice. He's a big guy who's not used to playing guys that can shoot the ball out there. And he gave Kukoč 2 good looks and he buried them both.
Indiana asked for time. Kukoč has 18. He's hit 8 of 10 from the floor. It's the Bulls by a point with 1:35 left. Moments ago, Phil Jackson all over Hugh Evans, contending that Travis Best's foot was on the line and the three-pointer should actually have been a 2-point basket.
We'll get a look at it and we'll show you Travis Best's foot right here on the line. And we can even get a better look. I think we'll be able to see it from a different angle here, but his foot right there, just his toe barely on the line, and we see it right there, and that should be a 2-point shot.
You know, and if you're an official and you're watching that and you have to look at it real quick, you're looking at Travis Best with black shoes on and you got the black line, it's kind of hard for you to take a quick look and decide which is which.
Trailing by 1, the Pacers put it in play.
They have Michael Jordan on Best to take away the penetration.
Smits comes out to screen for it. Best into the lane. The floater is short. Loose ball battle won by Pippen.
See, Smits had Kukoč pinned deep into the lane, but Best missed him because he was dribbling the basketball. That's one of the problems with Best as a point guard, that he dribbles.
Jordan against McKee. 4 seconds on the shot clock. It'll be Michael, and it'll be Chicago by 3. That was Michael's first basket since 8:07 remained in the game. He has 28.
Indiana season riding this last 40 seconds. Best dribbling the ball too much again.
You see Smits flashed again that time, wide open.
But Best took it to the hole and banked it in. With 33.5 on the clock, it's a 1-point game. Another memorable Memorial Day game shaping up for these teams. In this decade, the Bulls swept the Pistons and went past the team that had haunted them and on to their first NBA championship in '91 on Memorial Day. 2 years later, Michael with 54 in Game 4 against the Knicks. And then in '95, it was the Pacers' turn, the game in which Rick Smits hit the game winner, a contest that saw 4 lead changes in the final 13 seconds. Remember the exchange of what seemed to be game winners, first by Penny Hardaway and then by Smits. Here it's Chicago by 1 as they put it in play.
You see Bulls take it length of the floor, not half court.
Kerr, a great free throw shooter. And now Kukoč. Hold on. There's an offensive foul. An illegal screen is called. And the Pacers are going to get the ball with 21.8 on the clock. It's on Rodman, and it's his third.
Dennis Rodman is going to get called on the offensive foul. They're going to run a staggered double screen. It's Kerr sets the first one. Michael's going to come off. Now watch Rodman's left shoulder. He is on the move, and he hits Derrick McKee. That's a good call because he threw his left shoulder out and created the contact. Now, Phil Jackson obviously doesn't like it. He feels like he's gotten two tough calls here. One on the three-point shot, this one on the moving foul. Now, can Indiana take advantage?
Best brings it out of the backcourt. Confronted by Jordan. Reggie Miller. Harper on him. Reggie on the move. Finds Best. Deals it out to McKee. And it's knocked out of bounds by Jordan, who comes over to get a piece of it with 6.4 on the clock.
Now, Indiana runs a great set play here to free up Reggie Miller. Rodman or Kukoč must switch this, or Pippen, and then watch McKee, the inbounder, stepping back in.
Indiana has a timeout. They elect not to use it. McKee looking. Gets it in for Miller. Batted away. Grabbed by Pippen, and they have to foul him.
Harper and Reggie Miller.
This has been brewing since Game 3, when Harper fouled Miller hard late in the game. Right in front of the Chicago bench. Now Pippen's going to go to the line. What would be crucial here is if technicals are called. That would throw everything off. And that's what the officials are talking about. If Pippen goes to the line, even if he makes 2, Indiana, a great three-point shooting team, would still have an opportunity to tie.
See what happened here is Reggie Miller gets called for the foul, and you see Harper pull Reggie Miller into the bench and then push him off, and Reggie Miller goes back at him.
Man, you can't do that. You can't run the risk of a technical in this situation, no matter the provocation. The officials may have decided, we haven't seen an indication yet, they may have decided that they don't want this game and the possibility of a trip to the NBA Finals to be decided by a technical foul shot.
Well, you got Hugh Evans right there who's explaining it. He's been in these situations before, and he knows how to handle this type of situation. It's very emotional right now for the players. He's been there, so he's going to make the right call. He's going to settle everybody down, walk him to the free throw line, and the players will decide the game, not the officials, and that's the way it should be.
Scottie Pippen has had a great game. 12 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, and a pair of steals. But he's only 2 of 5 from the foul line. And on Saturday, he was only 3 of 7. Derrick McKee walks over and whispers something into his ear. Remember last year in the finals when Pippen walked up to Karl Malone as he prepared to shoot crucial free throws and whispered, "The mailman doesn't deliver on Sunday." A miss.
And see, I can tell you what's going through Scottie Pippen's mind as a player. You're sitting there concentrating, and it's not butterflies that's in your stomach. It's a big whale that's swimming around in there.
Now, I'd put Antonio Davis on Rodman. Rodman too quick for Smits here. You don't want to give up a second shot.
Missed them both. Loose ball, out of bounds. Who's got it? Jump ball. Now Hugh Evans says, wait a minute. He motions Ronnie Nunn over and may overrule him, and he does. He overrules him and gives the ball to Indiana with 2.9 seconds. And Larry Bird uses his last timeout.
Michael Michael Jordan is going to come over the top for this loose ball, and you're going to see his left hand looks like he knocks that ball out of bounds very close. Now, Ronnie Nunn did not have a good look at it. Hubert Evans on the other side saw it. Let's watch again. Watch Michael's hand here. That's definitely off Michael's hand. He and McKee were wrapped up there. Whoa, that's close. Man, that is really close. You know, we have the option to sit here and watch it from about 3 different replays. Now, Indiana's getting their 3rd chance here to try to win this game.
So I think you got to go back to Rick Smits right into the hole. He's being guarded by Kukoč, and take your chances there.
If Indiana scores here, this series might very well go the limit. If they don't score, you have to think it's very likely that the Pacers will be finished Wednesday night in Chicago, where the Bulls are 27-2 in the playoffs over the last 2 years. So these next 2.9 seconds may be worth several days for the Bulls in terms of rest. If they can end it now, they pick up important time to rest up for Utah. Let's go back to the scuffle in front of the Chicago bench. Let's see if someone moves off the Indiana bench. Watch the left of your screen. Right there, somebody. It could have been Jalen Rose.
Right there, that's Jalen Rose.
Did not advance beyond midcourt. And there's Rick Carlisle, one of the assistants, coming over saying, get back here. Now, it's possible that Rod Thorne will review that tape, and it is possible that Jalen Rose will not be a participant Wednesday night in Chicago.
Well, it all depends on how technical you want to be. The rule says that you can't come on the floor. He did not necessarily cross the line. He went up the sideline. So we'll see. You look at Rod Thorne there on the left and David Stern with the yellow tie on. We'll see how they rule.
Indiana, no timeouts left. They've got to get the ball in.
2.9 seconds. And a delay of game warning on Chicago. They just wanted to get a look at Indiana's setup. Kukoč is on Smits. Jordan is on Best. Harper's on Miller. McKee gets it in the middle for the win. It's there! 4/10 of a second. Reggie. One of the greatest clutch playoff performers of his generation has apparently done it again.
Reggie Miller, now watch him. He's going to come off one screen, gives Michael a bump, and he lets it go. What a killer shot by Reggie Miller.
And Doug, I know exactly how he feels. You're coming off that screen, you catch it, you square up, and you let it go. And the adrenaline that's going through your body right now, it's hard for you to really contain yourself. Look at his emotions. You don't know what to do because so much juice is going through your body. You're so happy. You see he's looking like he's ready to cry.
Look at Reggie once again. He got away with a little bump on Michael. He got really open. I can't believe he got that open on that play, knowing they're probably going to go to Reggie. But where's the limp?
No.
He forgot he's got a bad ankle.
With too much adrenaline flowing through your body, that's what you say, I love this game. That's what it's really all about right there. And you look at Larry Bird, who's been there before. Nothing to it. I've done that about 20 times in my career. Come on back over here, fellas.
Yeah, but let me illustrate his stomach.
Well, that's an almost unbelievably placid demeanor, considering the fact that Market Square Arena is a complete madhouse.
Bob, they put 0.7 of a second. You can still get a catch and shoot. At 0.3, it can only be a lob to the basket. So the Pacers got to be smart here. They've got to be ready to switch anything so you can't get a quick catch and shoot.
After the basket, it showed 0.4. They restore 3 tenths and put it at .7. The 2 big misses by Scottie Pippen at the free throw line set the stage. Had he made them both, the best the Pacers could have done was to tie on that 3. Now they lead by 2.
Now they've got their biggest man, Rick Smits. He's got to get up all over Toni Kukoč because they do not have time to throw it back to him for the shot.
Now Michael Jordan likes to take it down into the post right here and seal his man and shoot the fadeaway J.